we've gone through the beginning of Bond, the awkward years. Now we get to
the 70s.
The 70s. It was a groovy time.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan had gone weird.
Richard Nixon was in power.
Exactly. The Beatles had broken up.
Yeah.
The Godfather was big, and film was going through a renaissance. And what did Bond get? He got Roger Moore.
Yeah, Roger Moore. I always thought Roger Moore was a bizarre choice for James Bond.
Yeah.
Even though he was a popular choice right from the inception of the film series.
Really?
Yeah.
He's an awful actor.
Oh, he's only known for one thing.
Oh,
That's it.
I also know him from he's in the first episode of Alan Partridge, Me Knowing You.
Oh yeah.
Revolves around a hilarious set piece where it's a piss taker chat shows where he's going to get Roger Moore in.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't get him on, he's a car phone. He's like, this is really unprofessional. Because the joke is that Alan Partridge is so lame, Roger Moore is his favourite Bond. And he constantly talks about Roger Moore and how cool he is.
Yeah.
And I think that character has pretty much rendered Roger Moore impossible to like now. It's such a great piss take of people who do like him. I
love that joke in The Simpsons where comic book guy's like, I've got a signed picture of Sean Connery signed by Roger Moore. That's a good line.
No, but we begin with one of the weirder Bonds.
Well, I think both of these are really weird. I was just saying, basically, with Roger Moore, they didn't, at the start, they didn't quite know what to do with Roger Moore. They hadn't quite got him down. He's a comedy Bond. So basically, they tried ripping off popular genres in the 70s.
Yeah.
Live and Let Die with blaxploitation. And then Man with the Golden Gun with films like Enter the Dragon, stuff like the Bruce Lee movies. But we'll start with Live and Let Die, the blaxploitation Bond film.
I love this film.
I kind of love this film.
It's awful and it's racist and it's weird, but it's just so stupid. It's pretty good. That's a really great Bond girl. Well, I don't remember her acting, but that Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
Yeah.
It's got a song by Paul McCartney.
Oh, Live and Let Die. Do-do-do, that was covered by Guns N' Roses.
Oh yes, and also featured in my favourite film, American Hustle.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I can't remember.
It's where Jennifer Lawrence sings it.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene now.
Yeah. So yeah, Live and Let Die is bizarre.
How would you even explain the plot?
I don't remember what the plot is.
I remember the plot is that some people try and kill James Bond from Harlem.
Yeah.
I remember there was a really long scene set in Harlem at the beginning, and James Bond tracks them down to a bizarre island of voodoo.
Is this do like with it's what's he called the drug lord guy who's going weed or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, the beginning is a convoluted way to get
Kananga. That's the villain's name, Kananga.
Yeah. James Bond has to go to a voodoo island to fight Kananga. And there are some scenes in this that are just bizarre. There's like a really long psychedelic scene in there where he's he's in the jungle and Kananga's poisoned him or something.
I think so, yeah.
Doesn't Kananga have power over the island? There's some weird supernatural element.
There's Baron Samedi, who's like an actual voodoo thing.
Oh yeah.
Who's like an immortal man who Bond shoots but comes back to life. Like right at the end of the film, Baron Samedi's dead, and Bond and Jane Seymour are on the train. And then Baron Samedi's at the front of the train and he laughs. That's how the film ends. He's like, and he kind of almost like a I don't know what you call it, like a fade into his face, and then it kind of fades out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's the supernatural element. There's a really weird scene where like Bond shoots Baron Samedi's head and it kind of a bit of it like blows off, but he's still alive somehow. But it is fucking bizarre. I quite like it, actually.
I like
it. Live and Let Die is such a relic of its era.
Again, there are loads of really weird, iconic moments. There's the bit where he jumps on the crocodiles.
That's great. That's a really good stunt. Yeah. I've never seen that in a film before.
Yes. What I also remember a lot from this film is the ending where the guy eats a capsule and inflates into a balloon.
And then blows up.
And then blows up when he hits the roof.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That is just awful.
Yeah.
It's like, who thought that was a good idea? So it's vaguely racist, which is probably going to be a theme going forwards as well as
I think so.
Everything up until I think the modern era.
Yeah.
Is pretty bad in terms of that, and this is I would give this in entertainment value like an 8.
Yeah, I would as well.
It's not as good. It's not as crazy as You Only Live Twice.
That's true.
But it's crazy. It's ambitious. Sort of. It's enjoyable. It's got Jane Seymour.
Awooga!
Exactly. It's great. In it, Yaphet.
Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto plays it as well.
Yeah.
Does this have the first introduction of his sidekick guy, who's played by
Felix Leiter?
Felix Leiter.
No, Felix Leiter first appears in Doctor No, but he's always played by different actors, which is always really confusing because Bond is like, Felix! It's like, oh, I guess you'll play Felix Leiter now.
Yeah.
Now the actor keeps on changing, but now in this one, the Felix Leiter who appears in Live and Let Die is the one who reappears in License to Kill.
Yeah.
I can't
Going
remember
straight for your heart.
Yeah. So, Live and Let Die is like a, 7 out of 10 film, probably. I think that's fair.
Yeah. It is not a good film, but it is
not by any means, no.
really ridiculously entertaining.
Now, if you want a bad film...
Yeah, this is just awful.
Can you believe that a James Bond film where Christopher Lee plays the villain is bad?
I can't believe it isn't the best film ever made.
Yeah.
But this is a really boring, really just dire film.
Bond goes to Bangkok.
And they portrayed sensitively and with an enlightenment.
What do you think? James Bond's been marked for death.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a bullet with his name on it. And he'll need all his lethal instincts and seductive charm to survive in this action-packed adventure! Roger Moore returns as Agent 007 and faces off in a deadly game of cat and mouse with assassin Francisco Scaramanga.
Played by Christopher Lee, the immortal Christopher, literally immortal.
Oh.
Since he's now in his early 90s.
Yeah. Featuring a wild automobile chase through Bangkok and Bond's stunning confrontation with an entire martial arts school, the man with the golden gun delivers pull out the stops excitement.
Now, how did they turn that premise into this film? This film is a lot of it's just detective work, which hinges on the dumbest plot twist ever, where he's got the third nipple.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he identifies it's Scaramanga, isn't it?
I think if memory serves, Scaramanga wants to make a laser beam powered by the sun.
That's
it's like
true.
A solar-powered laser beam.
And he owns his own island.
Yeah, and he has like a fun fair thing with all the mirrors.
Yep.
Do you remember? That's how the conclusion's set.
Yeah.
It's got a hugely impressive car stunt, which had to use some of the first computers in the world to map it.
Yeah.
So basically it was on ramps, and the car goes and it flips in the air.
Yeah.
And it lands perfectly on the other side, so basically it does a whole flip. Hugely impressive, technically so difficult to do. The cast and crew were amazed that the driver did it. He did it first time. The director was like, can I have one more shot, please? And the driver was like, no, fuck off, that's it.
Yeah.
Ruined by a dreadful sound effect. Do you know what sound effect they have over it?
What?
A slide whistle.
Oh my god.
It ruins the scene. It's a really impressive stunt. Really, technically, hugely impressive, and it's ruined.
Doesn't this have, isn't Scalamanga's, assistant played by a Vietnamese, midget?
It's the guy from that TV series.
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island, yeah. Yes. What's it called?
Isn't he hiding a suitcase at some point?
Yeah.
Short Round.
No, Short Round's Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Teehee?
Teehee, it's Teehee. Yeah, that's Teehee, isn't it?
Teehee, yeah.
That's Teehee.
It's so bad. It's like, Mr. Scaramanga. It's so bad. It's so
awful.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But at the end of the film, when Bond and Britt Eklund, fresh from The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah.
She's dreadful in this film, incidentally.
She's not very good in any film.
No.
She's an awful actress.
Yeah. Well, I did a film where Bond and Britt Eklund are trying to recreate the ending scene from The Wicker Man. Teehee is in a suitcase and he breaks out and tries to kill him.
That was it.
That was a tradition starting in Diamonds Are Forever, where the henchman reappears at the end to try and kill Bond, get him on the sly. In Diamonds Are Forever it ends with Bond throwing flaming shish kebabs at what's he called? Mr. White or something like that. I don't know what happens to Tee-Hee.
I'm assuming he's murdered.
I think he gets put in a cage.
Oh my god!
I think, if memory serves, tell us in the comments below.
Yeah.
I think he gets put in a cage.
Oh right.
So, Man with a Golden Gun is a 3 out of 10 film.
It's awful.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not even the worst Muo would get.
No. It's the one where that nearly killed the franchise.
It's pretty boring as well.
Yeah. Bangkok was kind of still going through redevelopment at that time.
Yeah.
It's not like... The islands are amazing. Actually, the only positive thing people have said from Man with a Golden Gun is the fact that tourism increased for the islands surrounding Thailand, where Scaramanga is. No one has seen those islands before on film or on TV, so...
Yeah.
That's the only positive, is that the locals have managed to make some business out of it.
Oh yeah.
Only positive from this movie. And it almost killed the series. It didn't do very well at the box office.
No.
The original producer, Harry Saltzman, left,
Yeah.
leaving Albert R. Broccoli, leaving him to prove himself on the next film, the film that would make or break the franchise.
Dun dun dun.
A well-remembered film, and one of the best in some people's eyes.
Which one is this?
The Spy Who Fucked Me.
I remember. I've seen this one, but yeah, you give it a little talk while I. Oh, the first one with Jaws in, the sadly deceased
Richard Keel. Yeah.
I have seen this. Yeah, it's the other one I've not seen.
Moonraker.
Yeah, I've not seen.
Oh, Moonraker. Oh my god.
I've seen the ending of Moonraker.
So, Spy Who Loved Me is basically a remake of You Only Live Twice, but with water.
Yeah.
But the plot in You Only Live Twice is that Blofeld is capturing spaceships with a giant rocket.
Yeah.
And like holding them for ransom. Same thing in this film when it's a giant submarine.
Yeah, is this the one where it has the bit where what's he driving? Lexus?
No, it's a Lotus Esprit.
That's it, where it goes into... Yeah, I do remember I remember this scene really well, where he goes underwater.
Yeah.
And it turns into like a boat.
There's some really good moments.
Yep. Some
really good iconic Bond moments. Like that is a really fun scene where it turns into a submarine. It's so stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the appearance of Jaws, the popular iconic character, one of the most iconic... Probably the most iconic henchman James Bond had since, like, Oddjob.
Yep.
People love Jaws. To the point where kids would write letters into the directors.
Keel.
Yeah, Richard Keel saying, like, oh, I love Jaws, it's a shame that he's a baddie. So the next one will make him into a goodie. We'll get to Moonraker. Moonraker's amazing, incidentally. But Spy Who Loved Me, I don't know, for me this is a bit of a bland one.
Yeah.
I don't care for it much. Roger Moore's definitely settled into the role.
Yeah.
They've definitely kind of set what Roger Moore is like as Bond.
Yep.
You know, he makes horrible quips and, you know, like right at the end, like when he's having sex with the girl. Who's the girl in this? It's the girl who, she's married to one of the Beatles. Barbara Bach. I think she's married to, like, Ringo.
Really?
Yeah, Ringo or George.
She picked a loser there.
But she's married to one of the Beatles. Right at the end of the film, we're in a submarine, we're about to get it on, and then Bond's superiors see him, and he's like, Bond, what do you think you're doing? And he's like, keeping the British end up, sir. Oh dear.
Yeah.
He makes loads of dreadful quips in Spy Who Loved Me, if memory serves.
Yep.
It's got a really good opening pre-credit title sequence where Bond is, he's just had sex with a girl. He's had sex with loads of girls.
Yeah, he gets it on.
And he's like, I'm sorry, darling, I've got to go now. He's like, but James, I love you. I know, but I love Britain as well. Or something like that.
That's not a quip.
No, it's not a quip, it's just a dreadful line.
Yeah.
And it's the stunt where, like, he skis down a mountain, jumps off, and then he parachutes down. The parachutes, of course, are British flag.
That's sort of an iconic classic moment.
Yeah. Problem is, the film's not very interesting. I don't think the villain's very good.
No.
You know he's a villain because he plays classical music and has threatening dinners. And you know he's a bad guy. He's the one who wants to flood the entire world.
Oh no.
So yeah, Spy Who Loved Me is like a 6 out of 10.
Alright.
It's a cut above average. It's got some really good iconic moments, but overall it's a bit meh.